I honestly thought this time was going to be different. I thought it was going to be different because the way that we started was so exciting. It was so full of hope. I'd had so many bad experiences before we met, and you came in like a breath of fresh air. You honestly were everything that I was looking for, and I didn't even know that's what it was. And now I'm sat here and I'm looking back at it thinking, I honestly wish, a part of me wishes that we'd never met. And that's the thing that gets to me the most, is I don't want to feel like that about you. I want to look back at our relationship and all the things that we did with happiness. But every single time we talk now, everything that you say, everything especially that you do, it just reaffirms to me that I made the right choice in getting rid of you. And I want to be one of those people that doesn't get rid of people, you know? I really believe that you want to keep them around, and I think that's where I went wrong. So if you're also feeling like you kind of want to get back at that person, you want them to suffer in the way that they made you suffer, and you're thinking about all the times that you talked, all the things that they told you, all the things that they did, all of the small ways in which they changed you, and you're looking back at it and feeling a bit like I'm feeling right now, a little bit bitter and broken and annoyed and angry and frustrated and pissed off. Why did I even let this person into my life? Why did I even let them influence me? That's the thing, that's the real kicker, the punch in the gut. If you're feeling these things, this video is for you. This video is for you if you're feeling the pain of that breakup and you're looking for a way to move forward and move on. Losing someone is like losing a limb, and people forget that. We think that we should just be able to move on. We should just be able to forget about that individual. We should just be able to wake up the next day and not feel these things. But the truth is, and this is scientifically proven, the attachments that we create, they're as significant as having a limb. When we become close with someone, it's like having another, a real part of you, an arm or a leg. So when you lose someone, not only are you losing that individual and that relationship, your brain doesn't know the difference between emotional and physical pain. So what you're feeling, it's real. It's like losing a limb. Now let's think about this for a second. If I came and chopped your limb off, there'll be blood gushing, it will be gory, it will be difficult. First you'd go into shock. You'd feel shocked at the fact you don't have that left arm anymore. And every single day when you're doing different things, you again and again realize the small ways in which that left hand that was a part of you, a part of your being, has just been ripped and torn away from you. And that's pretty much what you're going through. So when people tell you, get over it, follow these 5 tips, it doesn't solve that emotional pain that you're feeling right here and right now. And that's the first thing that I want you to understand, is losing someone is like losing a limb. You're not going to get over it tomorrow. And just like if you lost a limb, if you lost your left leg, it's going to take weeks, months, years even to learn to walk again, to learn to do what you were doing before. Things are never going to be the same. Get that into your consciousness now. Everything is going to change, and now that hurts to hear. It hurts to feel, but it doesn't have to be a negative thing. It doesn't have to mean what happened before is going to happen again. You can move on and you can move further forward than you've ever imagined. But the pain that you feel, the pain that you're experiencing, it is real. Just as real as losing a limb. So think about that, and think about how you would approach losing a limb. What countermeasures you'd have to take in order to find that magic word to find balance once again. The second thing that I want you to realize is that there is a big difference between what most people learn to do and very few learn to do. And that's the difference between recovery and healing. Recovery is when you learn to live with that pain. The pain becomes a part of you. You break your ankle and you learn to walk anyway, in spite of that pain. And healing is where you learn to truly let go. It's healed over. It's like a scar that doesn't pain you. When it's triggered, there is nothing that happens. There is no reaction. And very few people learn to deal with the pain that they've experienced. And what most people do is they learn to dwell on it. They carry it with them like a sack of potatoes. I mentioned it in another video I made about breakups, where you're carrying these potatoes around with you every single day when you're in the classroom, when you're on the underground or the train or the tube or the bus or the car, wherever it is that you're going to get to work, or wherever it is that you're going, but you're carrying it around with you. And over time, what happens is those potatoes, those problems, those bits of pain that you bring with you, they start to mold and decay, and that affects your consciousness, it affects your thoughts, it affects the way that you feel, and you poison the rest of your relationships, and most importantly, the relationship with yourself, because of those weeds. So don't learn to dwell and recover, learn to deal and heal from the pain that you've been through. The third one, and this is the one that I think, I was looking through the comments in that last video, which has 500,000 views while I'm recording this. And most of you that are commenting, most of you that have seen that video, and I'm only making this second one because of all those comments, for the 2,000 plus people that are in the comments telling me, I don't know how to get over this, I don't know what to do. People who are messaging me saying, how do I get over it? Well, you haven't cut the trigger. You haven't cut the trigger out. And when I say trigger, let me be real with you. The trigger is that person. The trigger is that relationship. The trigger is all the gifts they gave you, all the text messages, all the photos. Remove those triggers. Why are you holding on to them? Why are you holding on to them? How can you move forward if you're still holding on to the past? If you want something new, if you want something better, if you really want version 2.0, and you want to turn your pain into prosperity, you want to turn that fire into your fuel, you have to learn to let go. And now when I say let go, for me personally, it meant cutting all those things out, removing them, because I know I might be feeling motivated, I might feel inspired, I might feel like, yeah, this is what I need to do. But there's gonna be a period, and those moments when you just wake up or you're just about to go to bed. Those are the danger zones, and they always were for me, where I knew I'd be tempted to read through our WhatsApp conversations, or look at pictures of her, or read our messages again, or think about things. Well, let me just avoid that experience, avoid that inflicted pain on myself by just removing the triggers. And for some of you, for you, as you're watching this, you still have that trigger around. You're still talking to that person. They still have a space in your life. They still have a seat at the table. Now, regardless of the circumstances of what you went through and what they did for you and the meaning of your relationship, I repeat again to you, how can you move forward? How can you really heal when you haven't let them go? Now, that doesn't mean forever, but for now, you need to work on you. You need to work on version 2.0. You need to work on healing and not recovering. And to do that, can you honestly say for you, your family, maybe there's kids involved, that you can do it with them at the table? And it might be physically, you're still talking to them. It might mean emotionally. It might just mean the things that I mentioned, the text messages, the conversations, all the little physical examples of them around your house, around your consciousness. Cut those things out. I want you to look at this situation. I want you to look at and feel the pain that you're experiencing right now, here in this moment. And I want you to say one thing: thanks for the cut. Thanks for the cut because you taught me what is not right for me. Thanks for the cut because you taught me what my real needs are, the ones that I wasn't even aware of, let alone asking for. Thanks for the cut. Thanks for the cut because you taught me what I am not ever again gonna accept. Thanks for the cut because I'm never gonna be here again. I'm never gonna feel like this again. I will never allow somebody to treat me the way you treated me. I will never allow that to enter my kingdom, my space, my life. Thanks for the cut because now you've created a diamond, and you can blame them for the things they did. You can blame them for cheating. You can blame them for walking away. You can blame them for not communicating properly. You can blame them for so many things. But the first person that I want you to look at is the man in the mirror. Don't look outside the window. I want you to look in the mirror, take a good hard look and understand, thank you for what you've created. And that's a diamond. And feel the cut, feel the pain that you're going through, and realize ultimately who is responsible for that. Because you don't have to turn their behaviors into your reality. The transference of what they did to you, the pain because of their behavior, because of what they did, doesn't have to live with you every day. That's a choice. And that choice is yours. So you can blame them for all those things. But the first person you need to look at is you. And you need to look right back at them and say, you know what? Thank you for the cut, because the person I'm going to be today, the person I'm going to be tomorrow is version 2.0, and you are not ready for that individual, because I'm going to be happier, I'm going to be kinder, but I'm also going to be more assertive. I'm also going to be more aware of who I am and what it means to be in a relationship, to relate to me. These are the standards you have to live up to. My friend, my ex, my whoever you are, you did not live up to that standard. And so, goodbye. The experience of life, it shouldn't wound you. It should make you wiser. You should turn those wounds into wisdom. And what most people do is they learn to create more pain, more hate, more bitterness. And let's be honest, turn the news on, take a look at our world. There's so much pain and bitterness already. You don't need to add to that. You don't need to be another walking zombie that is bitter and twisted and hard and has turned into, Scrooge from Charles Dickens. You don't need to be that person. That's not who you are and who you were when you were younger, when you were more innocent, more kind, more open. And there's a quote that I really like by Rumi, which says, your heart has to break in order for it to be opened. And when it's opened, that's where the light gets in. So take a look at your most vulnerable point where the wound has been created and realize that your heart, though it may be broken, though you may be going through pain, it's not a mechanical object. It's not like a tin that you just crack it and that's it, it's broken forever. It's an organic thing. It can grow, it can change, it can evolve, it can become better, bolder, bigger, better, kinder, quieter, more open. And what is it that you're going to learn from this experience? Are you going to learn more anger, more hate, more shouting, more pain? Or are you going to learn the things I mentioned in this video? To heal, not to recover, to remove the triggers, to become more assertive, and to understand that this cycle you're experiencing, the pattern that you are in, you are the number one force in this equation. And that force, the force of nature that you are, it doesn't have to be dictated or influenced by anyone but one person. There is one person that decides how this story not only ends but continues. And that person, my friend, is you.